The harborfront wave decks are a series of wooden structures built along the shoreline of Lake Ontario with the intent of doubling pedestrian space along the lake. Running along the 3.5-kilometer span from Bathurst to Parliament Street, there's a separate deck at the junction of the waterfront and Spadina Avenue, Simcoe, Reese, and Parliament Streets. Each wave deck is entirely unique and was designed to resemble the contours of the shoreline as well as the waves of the water itself. For example, the Spadina wave deck reflects the calm openness of the lake by offering pedestrians an interesting path to walk on over water as well as connecting the Music Garden and Harbourfront Toronto Park. The Simcoe wave deck, by contrast, addresses the wilder nature of the lake by offering a more dynamic and whimsical design with curves that rise up to 2.6 meters above the lake. It has become a popular pedestrian attraction and often serves as an informal amphitheater space for the public. Despite the dramatic curves, they are all wheelchair accessible with strips of abrasive material and hand railings to prevent slips and injuries. In this way, each wave deck along the Toronto harbourfront not only offers a different interpretation of the lake, but also a unique gateway to the waterfront. They allow everyone from all walks of life to interact with the immediate surroundings, the lake, and the city itself. The 2009 Serpentine Pavilion is a large organically shaped aluminum canopy supported by thin columns that weave around the trees of the Serpentine Park. With no walls and minimal supports holding up the roof, it offers the highest form of openness and an unobstructed view of the park. It has a series of connected spaces such as areas for cafe seating and an auditorium and walkways. The almost floating pavilion sweeps up and down, almost touching the ground at certain points, and dramatically reflects the sky, the trees, and the ground, allowing visitors to blend with it into its surroundings and encouraging them to walk a fine line between nature, architecture, what is real, and what is reflected. While the pavilion was intended to use as little material as possible with a very thin canopy and very thin columns, size and thickness had to be increased due to technical and engineering issues. Unfortunately as well, the roof had to be constructed out of many interlocking pieces, which does not quite offer the same dreamlike whimsicalness that the original single sheet that the architects originally intended to use would have had.